Okay, that should work, you guys. Are you able to chat now? I want you guys to be able to chat, buy stickers if you want. Okay. I don't know what was going on, some sort of error there. Anyways, the masculine collective, I'm going to just kind of recap because I'm going to delete the other video. I don't know what the fuck was going on. What I said at the beginning of the video, if you want to book my portal reading on my website, wickedvirgo.com, I have a 1111 portal reading. It's a very in-depth, like where your connection is with ascension cycles, like what your ascension cycle is being worked through with this portal, what blockages are being worked through, and then I give you a reading, okay? And it's quite in-depth, actually, if you want to get that on my website, okay? There's a story reading on my Instagram, a more mini version of 1111 portal, if you want to do that. So I'm going to just do this over again. So the feminine, you are in a place right now, you're in the Queen of Swords energy. So the masculine feels this. You're like laying out your boundaries and you're like, this is what I need in a relationship. This is what I have to have. I'm not going to go backwards. Like, I feel like men in general have been going backwards or trying to hold on to the past, and they're thinking too much with their old belief systems, like what they were taught as a child, and they're reminiscing way too much on the past, and they're holding on to past timelines, right? And this is causing you frustration of their lack of growth and evolution and movement because they're not spiritually evolving, and they won't. They need to learn how to live in the present moment. So a lot of you are like, okay, I'm not going to deal with this, or they're holding on to karmic situations or whatever it is. Okay. And they're in the King of Wands in reverse. They've been giving their power away to timelines that either no longer exist or in the past, or to unserving timelines. This has been a problem with men because it's hard to admit, hey, the way I was raised or what my mom and dad taught me or this or that is not going to benefit my spiritual evolution. Does that make sense? You know, and it's hard for them to admit that perhaps the way their mom and dad raised them wasn't coming from an unconditional love space. So there's all these blockages and old timelines coming up that they need to close out, okay? And this is a struggle. So they're trying to hold on to past timelines, which is therefore causing them extreme exhaustion, okay? Because I kind of feel an exhaustion with the King of Wands in reverse. So they're going to learn the hard way that what they were taught as a child, or that holding on to the past or constantly seeking the past in the present moment is not going to benefit them. It puts their energy living in the past. Okay. So you may not feel their energy quite the same right now because their energy is living in the past. Does that make sense? So they're trying to move forward, but they're trying to move forward with old keys, and they're getting stuck into a wall every single time. It's not going to work. They're not going to be able to repeat old cycles over and over and over and over again. Okay. So the portal is bringing this abrupt stop to this. Okay. There's an abrupt stop to this. Like, no, you are going to change. You are going to end your past. Stop holding on to your childhood. Stop holding on to this. Stop holding on to what you were taught when you're, a kid, whatever. Okay. It's time to grow. It's time to be a man. It's time to man the fuck up. It's time to grow up. And a lot of men right now on a collective scale are regressed to like a teenage state. And I talk about this in my Patreon and more in depth if you want to, get on my Patreon. Maria, your message is you are ending a deep, deep cycle. It's causing you despair. Jessica B, your message is you are about ready to leave a toxic situation. Yeah, it looks like we got a lot of trolling in here tonight. That's cute. They want to go backwards. They want to live life how they were taught. Yes, that is correct. They don't want to admit that perhaps the way their parents taught them to live isn't really freedom. It isn't coming from an unconditional love place, but a program place. Okay. And I feel like the feminine collective, you went through this already. You've already accepted this. You've acknowledged this in your life. Is love coming in for you soon? 2 months. And they have not. Okay. They have not, like what their mom and dad taught them or whatever it is. They're holding on to the past. Basically, they're holding on to the past. And what's going to happen is they're going to lose the feminine if they keep doing this. If they do not put effort in evolution, growing, and manning the fuck up, they're going to lose the feminine. And for some of them, they already have, because it's like, you're not going to deal with it anymore. You're not going to do it anymore. Okay. And it's time to man up and be the head of that household. Okay. So look at that. Okay, so they're hitting these blockages over and over and over again. And it's continuous. And this is the old belief system. This is holding on to childhood ways. This is holding on to all that bullshit, okay? And this is the main block to your connection, the old programming that they're holding on to. So their soul is not aligning. They're not aligning with it because the old programming is basically bullshit, right? And it's hard for them to admit this, that, hey, what my mommy taught me was maybe not correct. You know, that sort of energy. I get one when you feel necessary, okay? Third-party situations, they're waking up to that, you guys. I do see that as well. And for some of them, the third-party situation is work or their mommy. Okay, so they're waking up to that as being a blockage in their relationship as well. Okay, they like to put blinders on to karmic situations. Like, that's how the masculine collective has been just kind of floating through life, just blinders on, you know, just blind yourself, don't acknowledge it, don't admit it's a problem in your life. Okay, so they need to learn how to detach. Okay, detach from work, detach from mommy, detach from exes, that sort of thing, and learn healthy connection. Okay, this is the lesson they are being thrown into right now. What is healthy connection? Okay, so they're going to see the truth. And what's happening when they're holding on to these third-party situations, they're putting themselves in a repetitive karmic loop, a never-ending karmic loop. So they're going to be going through a lot of despair. They're going to be going through a lot of karma, okay? Intense amounts of karma with this portal. If they have not let go of this, they're going to be forced to let go of this. And I feel like, feminine, a lot of you have pointed out, like, this is blocking you, that's blocking you, this is blocking you from your fullest potential. No, I don't see a badge there. This is blocking you, that's blocking you. His Virgo tonic, I gave you a message earlier, so I don't know if you bought another one, I didn't see it. Okay. So you've probably pointed out their blockages in life and they don't want to admit it. Okay. Like, they're stubborn. So there's going to be a chain of events happening in their life that's not going to be the most favorable. Okay. But they need to be in that king status, that position of authority. And these chain of events are going to show them where their blockages are, what their blockages are with the 1111 portal energy, and what they need to remove out of their life. Okay. Because a lot of them are holding on to attachment. They're holding on to toxic people, toxic situations, and that sort of thing. And I feel like they're going to start respecting you as the oracle at some point here because they don't respect your word, feminine. Is that correct? Okay. They do have you on their mind, though, very heavily with this portal energy, and they do want to be a part of your life. It's just that they need to go through these orchestrated events to be able to do that. They're going to get a lot of spiritual guidance. Okay. There's going to be a lot of ancestor guidance, spiritual guidance. Maria, your message is you're going to go on a vacation with some girlfriends. Okay. Take the opportunity. There's going to be a ton of spiritual guidance and protection when they go through this process with the portal, because it is a purification. It is a big wake up call. It is like a massive awakening, like one that I can't even begin to explain, that's happening in their life. And they do have a high chance of losing the feminine, because the problem is you guys have been already going through this. Coworkers are trying to set you up on a work crush. It's actually an opportunity. So you need to step back while they serve the karma. Feminine, you've already pointed out what's blocking their path. You've already told them, and they're going to get the repercussions. All of a sudden, if they don't listen to what you're saying as an oracle and what you're saying as a healer and what you're saying is true, they're going to lose money, they're going to lose opportunity, and they're going to lose you. Okay? So that's what this portal is going to show them. They really have to learn how to be the head of the household. They have to learn how to be the man that overheads the home. They have to learn how to be that position of authority. Okay, what is blocking them with love right now? Some of them have this idea that they're just meant to be alone, okay? And this is kind of a manipulation a lot of people feel. But in actuality, they fear loneliness at the same time, okay? And I do kind of pick up, there's a lot of thinking about you going on. There's a lot of understanding you. I feel like they're learning to understand you as well. And they are staying in karmic relationships or holding on to people from their past that are karmic in their life, like their mother, for example, because that's a big blockage I've been picking up at readings. They're afraid to disconnect properly because they're afraid to lose this person in their life, but they need to learn proper connection, not attachment, okay? And they're afraid of losing family members when they make these changes. They're afraid of losing love and trust, that sort of thing. And it's almost like instead of making those changes, they're almost like, well, I'm just meant to be alone, but they don't have to be alone. They just need to accept that maybe some people will not accept their changes, okay, and may not support their changes. Bill Smith, your message is a love interest is you're going to meet in about 3 months. They're feeling really burned out right now. They're feeling very tired. And that is from holding on to the karmic timelines. They're actually getting karma for doing that. Okay, it's not a very good karma either. What is going on between Eric and I? He's got another love interest that he's engaged with. Repetitive patterns. Yep, there we go. Repetitive patterns. And I feel like, feminine, that you're going to cut this person out of your life if they don't change. Okay, that's kind of what was coming at the Queen of Swords energy. Like, if they don't change with this portal, if they don't change with these shifts coming forward, if they don't make the proper adjustments to their life, you're done with them. Yeah, sleeping a lot is a sign. Yep, that's a sign of energy harvesting. That's a sign of karmic timelines being held on to. That is very, very much a sign. Yeah. But they are trying to repeat patterns again. They don't want to let go of, the family ways. It's like a cult, like the family dynamic is like a cult. Hidayah, you're going to meet another person of interest within 2 months. Repetitive patterns. What about repetitive patterns? I feel like a lot of you have been waiting for the moment for them to let go of the repetitive patterns, for them to let go of the true colors of certain situations or people. There's this waiting energy, okay? And it's like you're just kind of letting go and releasing this person because you've just had enough. Eventually they will, I'm hearing they will move on from their karmic timelines because they won't have any other choice. They're going to feel exhausted. They're going to, like I said, they're going to start losing money. They're going to start, you're going to get irritated with them if they're going to act like this and hold on to their karmic timelines. A lot of you are going to start with someone new. And if you're with somebody right now, if they don't grow and they don't try, then I feel like a lot of you are done in those connections, okay, or relationships. Because the feminine is making huge strides, and I really picked that up when I did a Patreon reading the other day, is that you're making huge strides with the masculine is way behind with that stride. When you release them, feminine, I feel like this portal is going to draw them to start chasing you, and they're going to start manifesting you, okay? That's coming in as well. I do feel a very strong chase. And a lot of you are going to get contact with Mercury retrograde and that sort of thing. And this is because a lot of you started to wake up to the fact that they want to be a little boy. They want to be mama's boy. They don't want to change. They don't want to do this and that. They want to hold on to their ex or stay with their ex. They're just fucking sick of it. They want to act like a child, whatever your storyline may be. Because a lot of men are just in this regress state. Okay, because they don't want to get out of that old programming. And that's what you're getting frustrated with, is really what it sums up to be. Okay. So I'm going to leave that right there, you guys. I don't get much views on this anymore, so I kind of gave up. So I'm going to get off here. You guys have a good night. Bye-bye. Will Eric regret engaging with another woman over me? It'll take him quite a while, actually. Have a good night. Bye-bye. DM update. He's going through dark night of the soul.